Hello, how's everybody doing today? So I wanted to make another quick video. I had some people commenting on my last video about, first of all, the King James Bible, and secondly, I said you need to know what the Word said 3,600 years ago. So the first thing is I use the King James Bible because I have not found any contradictions to the King James Bible, and all the other translations I found multiple contradictions in. Most of them is in the NIV, so I don't use the NIV. I don't want to make that some kind of a crutch for somebody. If you like the NIV, that's your choice. But there is things that are different, and it makes the gospel a little bit different if you read out of the NIV compared to the King James. NIV is the worst of all of them with contradictions, so if I can make a suggestion and you want to use something like that, use the NLT or the ESV, which also both has contradictions, but it's definitely better than the NIV. Secondly, and I think the most important one, would be the see what the word means 3,600 years ago. There's different words in the Bible that mean something different today than they meant when it was originally written. For instance, the word let. Today the word let means to allow. But in the King James Bible, the word let means to hinder. It means to prevent. So if you let somebody, that means you prevented them or hindered them. Also, in the book of Job, it mentions the word unicorn. And today we think of a unicorn as a mythical creature, something that doesn't exist, something that's fake. But if you look at a Bible, if you look at a dictionary from the 1600s, you'll see that the word unicorn actually means a one-horned rhinoceros. In fact, there's some paleontologists that found some bones in the ground, and they put it together. They found it was a big rhinoceros, a huge, ginormous rhinoceros, and they named him the Great Unicorn. So, the word unicorn meant a rhinoceros back in the 1600s, where today it means, a horned horse that's mythical. Also, in the book of Job, there's the behemoth and the leviathan, and I believe both of those would be dinosaurs. The behemoth, I would say, is probably a plesiosaur, like people would say Loch Ness Monster looks like, and the leviathan was probably something like maybe a T-Rex. The behemoth is probably something like a brontosaurus, brachiosaurus, whatever word it's called, great big huge giant dinosaur, and the leviathan could be a plesiosaur or maybe a T-Rex, depending on how you look at it. And you're going to say, well, dinosaur, that's can't be. It doesn't say dinosaur. But the word dinosaur wasn't made up until the 1800s. So how can the 1600 Bible mention something that was made in the 1800s? Also, you're going to see the word dragon a lot. And I believe that dragons are just dinosaurs. There's dragon rumors all over the world. And again, if you look at a 1600 dictionary, it's going to say dinosaur or dragon, now rare. Why would it say that something would be rare if it didn't exist? Why is there myths of dragons all over the world? People killing dragons, and there's pictures of dragons. There's on the different urns and stuff like that down in the Meccas and the Inca stones and things like that. Why would there be dinosaurs or dragons depicted on those if they didn't exist? There's also, if you go down to Texas, there's an area that has dinosaur footprints and human footprints together. But regardless, if you look at the word and you look at a 1600 dictionary, you're going to see the dragon is now rare. But there's certain words that you have to look at what it meant when it was written compared to what it means today. There's about 12 or 15 words that mean something different than it means today. Think about this. When I was growing up, the word cool meant not hot. And then a couple years later, cool meant you were a pretty awesome dude. The word fag in England means a cigarette, where in America it means kind of a slur for somebody. But words mean different things. So you have to look at what the word meant when it was first written compared to what it means today. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have, is they try to fit the Bible into what it says today instead of what it meant back then. But anyways, I just wanted to make that quick video to let you guys know that I think the King James is the best Bible. I understand that some people find it hard to read, but I think that it's the best Bible because there's no contradictions, where the other Bibles have contradictions. And like I said, the NIV is the worst of all of them. I kind of joke around saying it's the non-inspired version. I got saved out of the NIV, so I don't want to trash it too much, but there's a lot of contradictions in there. There's a lot of verses missing, a lot of words that were changed. And you have to understand why that is. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. In the NIV, there's a lot of issues with it. But the King James has no copyright to it. There's no copyright. You can recreate it and sell it. Has no copyright to it. All the other 99 English translations that I know of are copywritten. And the law says in order to have a copyright, it has to be 10% different than the other ones. So each one of those 100 translations have to be 10% different than the other one. And there's things you can do, like instead of saying, Son of God, they could say descendant of God, child of God. That's a way you can make a word different. Or instead of saying like circle, you could say sphere. Or I went to a high place, you could possibly say, I went up to a place that was a higher altitude or something. But after a while, when you have 100 different translations, you have to have 10% different than all the other ones. You got to start changing other things. And I'm not even going to get into the Textus Receptus and the Alexandrian text, and I'm not even going to get into that kind of stuff right now. Maybe I'll make a video in the future talking about those type of things. But I tell people all the time, pick a translation you like, read it front to back 2 or 3 times. Don't stop to see what it means, what it says, just read it. And then after you do that, get a King James Bible. Because, like I said, the King James so far has no contradictions to it. But anyways, I wanted to make that quick video. Comment below, like the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I appreciate your guys' time.